the evening of my wife's work gathering. I was there purely to support her. Sarah had been eagerly anticipating this event for weeks. It was a major networking opportunity, with top executives and colleagues from a marketing firm in attendance. I didn't know most of them, and to be honest, I preferred it that way. I dressed neatly, maintained a composed presence, and planned to let her take the spotlight while I remained in the background. My role was simple: the supportive spouse, not the center of attention. As we entered, the room buzzed with conversation and music. Sarah introduced me to a few attendees. Most were courteous, exchanging polite small talk. Then Daniel appeared, tall, arrogant, with a half-smile that suggested he thought he was superior to everyone. He extended his hand with a firmness that seemed designed to assert dominance. "So you're Sarah's husband?" he asked, eyeing me as though I had somehow wandered into his private domain. I gave a neutral nod. He scanned me up and down, smirking. "Must be nice, not having to stress about work while your wife climbs a ladder," he said, his words laced with subtle disdain. I could feel Sarah stiffen beside me. I offered a slight smile and let it pass. Dealing with men like him was nothing new. But Daniel didn't stop. For the next 30 minutes, he peppered a conversation with sly digs. Insinuations that I had married above myself, that Sarah deserved someone ambitious, and that I couldn't possibly understand the pressures of a competitive career. The group around him chuckled awkwardly, sensing the tension but too polite to intervene. Sarah tried to steer the conversation elsewhere, yet he persistently dragged it back toward me, as if he wanted a reaction. Finally, he crossed the line. Leaning forward with his drink in hand, he said, "In circles like this, it's survival of the fittest. Not everyone can handle it. Some just fade into the background." His tone carried a clear challenge. He cast a quick glance at Sarah, testing whether she would side with him or with me. I set my glass down deliberately and met his gaze. "Daniel," I said evenly, "you're right. Not everyone can thrive in competitive environments. But I've spent the past decade succeeding in one far harsher than this." He tilted his head, a mix of curiosity and skepticism in his eyes. "Oh, really? Doing what?" I smiled calmly. "Special Forces. 10 years, multiple tours overseas, followed by private security consulting for high-profile clients. My job was to anticipate, outmaneuver, and outperform people who wanted to end me. So forgive me if office politics leave me unimpressed." His smug expression faltered, and the energy around us shifted. A brief silence hung in the air before someone nervously chuckled. Daniel muttered something about joking and averted his gaze, suddenly fascinated by his drink. Sarah squeezed my hand under the table, a quiet gesture of thanks for my restraint. For the rest of the evening, Daniel kept his distance. When our paths crossed, his tone had softened into something deferential. Other guests, now more curious, asked about my work and travels. I gave measured, vague responses. I hadn't come to boast. I simply reminded one man that appearances can be misleading. As we left, Sarah laughed quietly on the way to the car. "You didn't have to tell him everything," she said. I grinned at her. I didn't tell him everything. Just enough. Driving home, I reflected on how easily people judge others by surface impressions. Daniel had assumed I was ordinary. What he didn't realize was that the most formidable people in any room are often those who feel no need to prove themselves. That night, I was more than happy to let him discover that the hard way. Afterward, Sarah mentioned, Daniel was always polite after that, almost excessively so. He never made another jab, and whenever I attended office events, he gave me a wide berth. I never held a grudge, but I suspect he never forgot the moment he realized he had no idea who I was really married to.